Hey, Yost, thanks for joining me inside of your platform. I'm super excited for today's interview. If you look around here down below us, we are live here in the multiverse in the city. And I'm super excited to kind of live stream this. And of course, everybody watching, if there's some issues that take place, then just know that we're doing this live and the best we can in a stream. So, with
Thanks so much, Jay.
no further ado, you want to just kind of introduce yourself and who you are and where we're at?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much, Jay, for having me. So basically, my name is Jos, as you mentioned, and I'm the co-founder of this app called Remio. And basically, what we do and what we specialize in is team building inside VR. And yeah, it's been a really fun journey so far, and we recently actually closed our 4.5 million seed round. So very excited to move forward and expand the space's capabilities.
Awesome. Yeah. When VetX first started working with Remio, we were excited to see all the team building activities inside each of your portals that we'll take a look at in a little bit. And the fact that this has the capability to serve as a very private space and platform for teachers and students to do activities in.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. So let's go ahead and take a tour. Let's kind of what space are we in right now? I know we have a variety of different spaces here in Remio.
Yeah. So this space is called Titan, but a lot of people also call it floating shapes because you have all of these weird futuristic floating shapes around. And this is sort of one of a couple of HQs that you can choose to have as an event organizer or as a company using the space. And basically, whenever your team or group of people or new event attendees join your server, so this, for example, is the VEDX server, they will all spawn into this default HQ that you have. And yeah, this default HQ then houses a couple of standard collaboration tools, but then also the portals that go to other apps like Multiverse, but also to in-house built games and experiences that we have in Remio.
Awesome. Let's go take a look at some of the rooms. I'll follow you if you want to show me some of the collaboration tools.
Oh yeah, for sure. So teleporting to get to, so well, we can actually start with this door quickly, or this section. So here we have.
I'm gonna move a little slower just because I don't want everybody watching to get dizzy.
No worries. So we won't necessarily go into this room, but this is our gallery room. And typically, when you have an event, you might want to show off some images, some graphics, some NFTs for some people.
Uh huh.
And this is sort of a gallery room that we've developed. One of the cool things here is that the images are always pretty close to you, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't get images that jitter or are too far away. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you could when you're running an event, you can customize what images show up here. That's
Excellent.
one of the first ones.
Very cool.
I will move ahead. So again, we won't go into this one, but it's the dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the group of people can go in there, stand in front of the mirror, and just sort of play around with the avatars, the cosmetics, and everything we have in terms of customizing your avatar.
Oh, right on. So there's a mirror in there, so we can see what we look like. Excellent.
Exactly. And here you can actually see one of the same mirrors. It's a smaller one, but you get the picture. All right. Um, then another cool thing is the aim with this space is to make it as interactive as possible. So whenever
Mm-hmm.
we put an object in the space or in the scene, we want to make sure that people can interact with it. So we have, for example, the basketballs here, and you could you could definitely interact and throw the basketball as if it's a basketball. So I'll try to get a hoop on the first shot. Oh no. I won't waste anyone's time here. But the other cool thing is the companies that we serve are pretty big, and some people might know of them. So we have like Google, Netflix, HubSpot, a couple of big companies that use Remio quite regularly. And yeah, very happy to be working with companies like that, but also companies like VedX who organize all of these different events and educational experiences for people.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a big list there. We'll talk a little bit more down when we get over to the team space. I want to know some of the team building activities you've done with them. So we'll wait for the
Oh
portals to
yeah,
talk a little bit more about that.
yeah, for sure. Then some more over here. We have some more interactable objects like chess and cornhole over there. And these are actually in the very near future. We plan to make them modules that you can place anywhere in the scene.
Okay.
So we really want to give power to the person who owns the space to place
Hmm.
these objects wherever they want to place them. And here we have some of the deeper collaboration tools. So the first thing I'll point out on that side is a private room. So these
Uh-huh.
are sort of audio sections that are blocked off. And if we go in there, anyone outside of that space cannot hear us and we cannot hear them. So it serves well as like a breakout room, which is often needed in big events. So
Yeah.
we've hosted events for 200 plus people. And then you quickly want to walk into spaces where no one else can hear you. And that serves it well.
Right.
And then we also have a Kanban board where you can create tickets. So for example, I'll create a quick ticket. And you can move it around as if it's sort of a Trello Kanban board.
Yeah. Nice. And then I can move it
Yeah,
too.
you can move and edit it. Yeah, and then you can draw on the board when you need to, and build little houses. And the same whiteboard functionality is also available on the standard whiteboard. So,
Sorry,
oh, you're trying.
I was having too much fun there. Okay.
The standard whiteboard, yeah, is pretty much what you'd expect from a whiteboard. The cool thing we also do is you can open an image if you have one loaded. So, for example,
Okay.
I'll try to load one quickly. Oh, sorry.
Oh, and then
So
I
you can
wrote
load
on your
these.
image.
Yeah, so you could load these images and then whiteboard on top of them.
Excellent.
And also you can spawn a whiteboard wherever you want to in the scene.
Yeah, I saw that in the
Yeah.
wristwatch. So if I go like this and
Yes.
then, whoops, and then bring a new whiteboard in.
Yeah.
I should have
And this
backed up a little bit, but
I'll bring it out. Don't worry.
cool.
Wait, you're behind it now.
Yep. Oh, there
we
we go. Yeah. So anywhere you're at in the space with your team, you can spawn a new whiteboard, and then if you spawn a new one, can I save it here also?
So these ones don't
Or I would
currently
have to
save,
take
the
a
spawned
picture. I'd
ones.
have to just take a picture because I could definitely take a picture of it.
Yeah, you can take a picture. The
Mm-hmm.
ones that do save, so you'll see, I'll quickly close this whiteboard. But the one that's against the wall and usually has this list next to it, these ones, or sorry, not list, but the UI, you
Mm-hmm.
can save these boards and load them again.
Excellent.
And we're planning to work that into the actual whiteboard module, so you can spawn that wherever you go.
And that works really well for small classroom spaces to be able to pull up a board after taking some notes with your class.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Then quickly moving on.
Yep.
Yes. So this is also a nice addition to the space. Is what if at the moment it's just a feedback booth, but
Mm-hmm.
we're working on a system where if you're, for example, a teacher or the team leader, you can write whatever you want to on this booth, and then have anyone who comes in here sort of send you a video message from VR. So that could be feedback on an event or any just sort of happy thing you want to do in there.
Well, we could do assignments for teachers too, like speaking
Yeah.
assignment or a short talk on a subject, and have those turned in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great.
This is another private room, so similar to the audio one that I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
This one will have the same effect. And then lastly, we have the conference room.
Okay.
So just a quick note before we go in, we've actually got two versions of the conference room. We've got in every HQ, you have this sort of smaller conference room that you can see through here. And then right next to it, you'll have the portal to the Aurora Auditorium, which is a much bigger one and usually houses or can house up to 100 people in the same space.
So 100 people in the same space can watch a presenter or a panel up on the stage right there.
Exactly. It's actually more than 100 people can watch the same presenter, but you'll have 100 people in every single room or instance. So 100 people can interact with each other in that
Awesome.
space.
And then
and this space,
and that includes people on a PC.
Yes, that includes people on a PC, and this space can hold 90 people in this whole scene. Um, so yeah, this is the presentation room. So I won't go into too much depth, but basically, what you can do here is upload videos, files, 3D models, and you can display them all on the screen that you can see
Well,
out
I'm
there.
gonna have a seat. You want to go up to the podium
Sure.
and load some of those things up there?
Let me load up something. So I'm going to try PDF first. So let's load up this VEDX 3-minute pitch. So you should be able to see that. And then
Yeah, yeah,
you can
and
present from here. You'll have a laser over there that you can use, and you can, sort of skip slides as you need to. I'll quickly load up a video as well, just for demonstration purposes.
great. I want, by the way, on this video here, I want one of these drones. I don't know if you saw this 360
Oh, yeah,
this 360
let me
drone,
play
but
it.
it's pretty amazing. Oh, looks like we got a pause
Oh,
on
is it?
this. It might be the stream. That's okay. That's the fun of having a live event.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
Um, but
Um,
if you wanna load up a 3D object, I want to show that real quick because
oh
that's
yes,
pretty cool. Nice.
nice.
And so
We've got
that can be made larger. It can
yeah,
rotate. So if you were a company and you wanted to show a prototype, or you were a school that wanted to talk about a particular lab or instruction, you can load up your own 3D objects in the back end and then have them displayed. Oh
yeah,
wow, I didn't
and you
realize you
can
could
do.
change colors up there. That's fun.
No, you. So this is the UV checker. So there's a couple of extra tools you can use for the 3D model, but this is the UV checker, and then you also have a matte cap, which is this just the gray sort of
Yeah,
thing, and then the full model is
ah,
textured.
awesome. Didn't realize those are extra tools in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But cool. So that's
That's great for remote teams for sure.
yeah, yeah. So that is most of the sort of tools that we have in the space.
Mhm.
The big sort of core part of it all is what you see in the center there, and
Okay.
when we go there, we'll see all the different doors. We could probably head over there now.
Yeah. Let's roll over there.
Yeah. So the core piece I mentioned is that people are able to come to these different, or come into the Remio HQ or VEDX
Mhm.
HQ, whichever HQ they have, and then from here travel into all of the other apps that they want to link to, but
Mhm.
also into the in-house built experiences that we have. So I'll quickly let me take you through sort of um, the usual process for a lot of the team building events
Okay.
to give you a flavor of what happens there. Typically, let's say a company like, there's different use cases, but for a smaller team building session, about 20 people, you'd have a
Mhm.
company like HubSpot. Everyone spawns out there, outside of the circle. They get used to the avatars. They play around with the basketball, with some of the toys we have upstairs as well, like
Mhm.
bows and arrows, and just sort of casually hang out for the first 20 minutes. Then after that, we have a host typically take them through a couple of set experiences. They can choose the experiences once they're in there. So if someone wants to play hide and seek, they go into the hide and seek door. If they want to play paintball, they go into the paintball door. But the host will typically run them through 3 different activities, and usually it's tower defense, paintball, and this team puzzle race. We also have multiple other experiences like escape rooms.
Mhm.
Um, we have bar VR. We have, what's the other one? I don't think it's listed here yet.
Well,
But yeah.
you have the team maze, which is really neat
Oh yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
to go
That's
through. Mhm. And then
and yeah,
and as a
sorry.
school or a company, you are like multiverse, building out the portals that you can go in between the two apps. For instance, that doorway to multiverse, I can cruise over there and spend some time in the Infiniverse and the planetarium, and then cruise back over to this space with the doors.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. That I mean, and this is what I was talking to San about too. This is truly the where the metaverse starts to take shape, where you can have those portals. When I was in Spatial, and you can put a portal out there that can head out to another space. And if you can kind of cruise through different spaces for the things you need and the things you've signed up for as a company, you start to really develop that ecosphere of use cases and niche for each space. And it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting to watch and be a part of. And you started not really too long ago, but have moved fairly quickly.
Yeah. Thanks. We try to keep up with all of your feature requests, Jay.
So yeah, it's been an exciting ride. So as you're watching this right now, if you own a company and want to do team building activities, and have a space to host those team building activities, this is a great platform to come into. If you are a school and you're watching this, and want to have a private space for your students, you should definitely take a look. If you turn around and look behind you, there will be a door, and it's labeled Remio. And if you go through that door, as you're watching right now here in the multiverse, if you go through that door, you can then leave your inquiry with us, and we will be in contact about setting up your platform. And then, if you're watching this from Multiverse, you probably have an apartment in the Infiniverse, and you could then link your door from the Infiniverse into the Remio space if your company or school signs up. So, very cool, very exciting.
Fantastic.
Let's can we take that view up top? I really love that view up top.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Awesome. Awesome. It's just, there's the golf. I love it. That is so fun. So, can you tell me a little bit about the companies and uh, the activities when they're doing the team building activities? What are some of the benefits? Some of the companies that take a look at this are like, oh, great, you have some team games, but tell me more about the um, the benefits of those.
Oh yeah. So all of our games and experiences are designed to foster team building, a lot of
Uh-huh.
communication, a lot of engagement. So
Uh-huh.
the typical example I like to give is if you're used to Rec Room Paintball, you should
Uh-huh.
try out Rec Room Paintball and then come try out Remio Paintball, and you'll see the level of difference in communication. So that's sort of the first hat we always wear when designing new experiences and games.
Uh-huh.
The second thing is what I mentioned before is for all of these experiences, it's fine. Sort of VR allows us to be in the same space, and people
Mm-hmm.
are slowly getting used to that, the feeling of the sense of presence. Uh, but the more important thing that we've noticed is with some apps, the amount of interactivity you have with the virtual world and with other people in the world is very
Uh-huh.
limited. So we want to focus on making that or taking that to the extreme and allowing people to, even if like countries apart, um, to feel like they're really interacting with the teammates and the people and the event attendees around them.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. We've had a lot of meetings in here too, and what's cool is during the meeting, I've been to physical meetings where on the desk they put a piece of Play-Doh in front of you so that you can listen or doodle, you know, because it
Yeah,
it it calms your mind, and it's like the same thing that we're doing right here, playing a little paper
exactly.
airplane. But we're also really focused in, and this helps sort of take that feeling away of like, okay, I'm listening, but what else am I doing, right? So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, and
exactly.
you can freeze some of this stuff too, right? Like if you're a company
Yep.
and you wanted to freeze some of this so that your folks don't do it. And I wanted to show everybody here the wristwatch. We've got a record function, we've got a camera function in here. We can open a browser right here in the space, and in this browser do the things we want to do. Now, Yost, can other people see my browser when it's open, or is this just me? This is just me, right?
No. So that's just you. That's one of the
Yep.
new things we're also working on is We want to enable a couple of spots in in the Remio space where you can watch, for example, YouTube streams together, and specific websites that you could see all together as like a multiplayer experience.
Cool. Excellent. And then, as a company, can you set those home pages in the back end?
You can ask us to, and we'll do it. But we are also enabling an easy tool to do that in the next 2 weeks.
Cool. And then I was going to ask you, another piece I saw on this wristwatch was that you can see how many people are in your server space here. You can then go to different spaces straight from your wristwatch without having to go find the door, as long as it's an internal space. And then the avatar, of course, and then the friends. So tell me about this friends. Is there, is this connected to Oculus, or is it just here in the Remio space?
For the moment, it's just in the Remio space, but we do plan to integrate that with your Oculus friends, and then being able to sort of party travel as well with everyone to and from Remio.
Excellent. I have a lot of sent requests, and they haven't accepted yet. That's sad. Okay, so one last thing before we end the interview. We're just about wrapped up, but I want to show. Can we go to the paintball room? Can I click paintball and we all go there?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna click paintball and I'll meet you there.
All right.
Oh, you have grenades. Ha! Paint grenades. Where?
Hot potato. Wait.
So then how do you... Oh, then it went off. Okay.
Right.
So it's got just a moment. And then up here I see that you have your team board. So we're team red and team blue. And how many people can play in the game?
So the max for this room is 28 people. So
oh wow!
It could be 14 versus 14. But you can obviously, when we have 300-person events, we make multiple instances of paintball, and you'll have all 300 playing at the same time in 14 versus 14 batches.
Oh man, so that has to just be absolute melee in here. I mean, just running around and shooting. And then the idea is capture the flag or team deathmatch for points. Round duration, and all of this is controllable by the host. Switch team, start game, strategize. What's that one?
So strategize will start you off in your base next to a whiteboard with the map. And then you and your team can sort of draw on the board and decide what way you want to attack and how you want to defend.
And if I'm a company and I'm hosting an event, you also will facilitate some of those team events, right?
Yeah, exactly. So companies coming to us or event organizers have the option of using us during the event or being completely self-serve. They'll have all the tools available that we have, so we try to make it as easy as possible for people to use this.
Right. And then, of course, you have your achievements up here.
Yes. This is still a work in progress.
Yeah, inside of the... So will people's names pop up there, like the team champion of paintball MVP or capture expert for the team?
Yes, so after every single game, there's a stats list that gets displayed here. And that'll show specific awards like the best sniper or the best team player. But then also the one thing we're working on is persisting those scores and showing it in your server for longer duration. So you can see over all time, over all games, who was the best team player in paintball, for example.
Well, that's a lot of fun because that would encourage people to use the space even without the facilitated team events to keep coming in together to try to, get better at that.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for the interview today. This is really great. Let's end it real quick in drop that. Let's end it in one last space. Let's jump over to the Santorini space.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hello, Jay.
Well, yeah. We'll say goodbye to everybody today. Thank you for joining us in this event. I hope you learned a lot about Remio, and it's exciting. These events take place every 2 weeks here on the big screen. And oh, nice. And come watch. What we try to do is talk about a different platform that education is using in XR. And we also might highlight a school that has an advanced XR department. So if you know of anybody that's interested in being on an interview to talk about their school or their platform, just let me know, and we'll book them in. We're booked out a couple of months right now, but we'll get you in as soon as we can to do an event with you. So thank you, and have a great day, everybody watching.